Good morning, people. I'm going to do this video real quick. As we all know, a couple of days ago we had a tragedy down in Orlando. And as I've been listening to the news and have been watching my Facebook streams and everything, I've been trying to keep quiet and have been keeping things to myself about how I feel about the situation. And to be honest, I'm not going to keep quiet anymore. And I'm going to do this without trying to ramble, as I've been told I do quite frequently. First off, Hillary Clinton for president. She's a joke. As some of you know that's on my Facebook page and that follow my Facebook page. I follow Tommy Lauren, who's, quite frankly, I gotta agree with the stuff that she says, you know, and she gets to the point on a lot of the issues that we as Americans face. And today, if you haven't seen it, I posted a video today that I shared, rather. Her guest was a survivor from Benghazi. He went by Pronto. Or Tonto, I believe. I believe his name was Tonto. And he was talking about Hillary, Benghazi, and how frustrating it was. And he made a point. He made a point that Hillary left 4 Americans in Benghazi to die. She left them behind. She left him behind. When Ambassador Christie wrote in his journal asking for more help, asking for more security, she turned a blind eye. When the terrorist attack broke out in Benghazi against the ambassador and they called for help, she turned a blind eye. She left them 4 Americans to die. And at the end of the video, you know, the clip, he made the comment that Hillary left them behind. George Bush never did that. But yet everybody criticizes George Bush. But he said he served under George Bush. George Bush never left him behind. And that got me to thinking. He's right. He's right. Under the Obama administration, we've had more terrorist attacks in the world than we did under Bush. Why is that? Under the Clinton administration, we had the USS Cole attacked. And what did we do? We fired off a few thousand Scud missiles. End of story. Done. Nothing else. Shortly after the USS Cole attack, what happened on 9/11? We lost 3,000 lives, and the U.S. and the trade centers came tumbling down. Why was that? Because we took a weak stance on terrorism. Just like we're taking a weak stance on terrorism now, Obama don't want to call what it is and say it's radical terror, it's radical Islam. Let's not offend the Islamists. Let's not offend the terrorism. Let's do gun control instead. You know, I'm not against having gun control. You know, I think that, you know, if we got to have some kind of gun control, you know, if we got to do background checks, that's fine. My question is this. If a 21-year-old adult goes out and let's say he makes a mistake. He's 21. He's a young adult. Gets involved with the wrong crowd. Let's say he steals a car. Doesn't use a gun. You know, he's in with the wrong crowd. His friends talk him into, hey, you know, little Johnny, see that nice Mercedes-Benz sitting there alongside the road, the street over there? Let's go hijack and take it for a joyride. Okay. That is a felony. That is Grand Theft Auto. A felony. Johnny is no longer able to have a weapon because he's got a felony. My question is that fair? I don't think so. He didn't use a gun to commit that felony. He wasn't dealing drugs to commit that felony. He's not mentally incapacitated. He knows what he's doing. He just made a mistake. He's human. That's where I have a problem at. Now, if you commit a felony with a gun, if it's a violent felony, if you beat the snot out of somebody, or you threaten to kill somebody, or a domestic violence or something like that, then yeah, don't need a gun. But I think we need to wake up. We need to start looking at the broader spectrum. We're under attack, and it's not under attack because we've got gun ownership. We're under attack because we got terrorism in this country. We got terrorists that are in our borders. We got terrorists that are living amongst us, and we have no idea who they are. Have no clue. They could be your neighbor. It could be anybody. And we have no clue because the government has left them in. Obama has left them in. There's another situation. Back in the 70s, we had a president that was a coward. He allowed a country to bully us and made agreements with them. And they were holding hostages. Now, if you grew up in the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s, you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jimmy Carter. And you know what country I'm talking about. I'm talking about Iran. Jimmy Carter, just like Obama, was weak. He bowed down to the Iranians. They held hostages that were American, just like Iran is holding 4 American hostages now, and Obama wants to sign a piece of paper and saying, hey, it's okay, keep the American hostages. We'll deal. We don't want to go to war with you. We're afraid of you. Bullshit. Reagan comes in, starts running. And the whole time, everybody was saying, Reagan's not going to be able to do nothing. Nah, he's not good. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good. The first day in office, that night, them hostages were released. Why do you think that was? Because Iran knew there was no more deals. There wasn't going to be one, and there wasn't one until now. My point is, if we're going to survive as a country, we need to develop a backbone as a country. We need to start standing together. We need to get our government back together. And we need to get back to the basics. We need to build up our military instead of weakening it. And we need to realize where the root of the problem is. The root of the problem is not gun ownership. It's what it is. And it's got a name. And it's called radical terrorism. And once we defeat radical terrorism, once we defeat ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the other terrorist groups, then we can do that. Once we defeat and win the wars in Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq, we've got it. But we got to do that first. We got to put boots on the ground in Iraq. in Afghanistan and in Syria. We can't just do it by sitting here and saying, oh, don't call them terrorists because they're going to attack us. They're already attacking us. They're killing more and more people every day. Not just in America, but in the world. It's time we put an end to it. Peace out.